must never forget that the church began as a divine movement. We talked about that in Bible study. The church began as a divine movement that exercised and wielded great and mighty miracles. So the church that you see today is the institutional church, but it began as just a movement. It was people coming from all over to come together for a specific cause. That's a movement. But this was a divine movement. That meant that it was of God. There are some movements where people come together, Black Lives Matters, and other movements where people come together and it's a cause. But the thing about the church is not only is it a cause or a movement, but it is a divine movement. It's a divine movement. And we said last week that the church was not only a movement with a mission and a message, but I want to say this week that the church was also able to yield and wield the miraculous. It wasn't just a movement. The church was not just a mission, and the church did not just have a message, but the church was all about the miraculous. Miraculous. Miracles, signs, and wonders. That was the draw of the church. The fact that it was a new movement with a mission and a message, high moral standards, and a flair for the miraculous. May I add that? Not only the church was a movement with a mission and a message and doing the miraculous, but the people that came together, they had high moral standards. Yeah, that was a draw to the world. Everyone wanted to see what was going on with this new Christ movement. Why these common people, why these people were raised and being elevated and raised up to different heights, why they had a different perspective and was moving forward in such a powerful way. This church, this first church of Jerusalem, was a church, was a movement with a message and a mission. People lived in high moral standards. And Lord have mercy, it was miraculous. This is what attracted the people to the church. I want you to listen to this writer. This comes from the president of New York Theological Seminary. And we were privileged, Dr. Dale Irvin, we were privileged to have him here and preach on Sunday. And it was an awesome service. And he brought a great word. And I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this. The Christian movement had been born from a radical eschatological, that is just a study of end times, of end things. The church was about studying the end time. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The church was all about talking about the end of an era, the end of rule, the end of oppression, the end time. Amen. And it was an eschatological experience of resurrection and spirit. As it grew, it came to live in the tension between its initial radical expectations and the reality of existing social conditions in the world around it. In other words, the church was formed at a time such as this. There was tension within the world. There was all these different political factions and different religious organizations and all these people who had came about, and they were doing all these different things, living immoral lives and worshiping 34,000 gods. And it was just a fray at that time. And the church was formed to live within that tension. To live within that. Y'all hear what I'm saying? In other words, the church didn't just come to overtake all of that and to change the world. The church had to survive and to live and to thrive in that tension. Had to live within all that was going on around it. Initial radical expectations and the reality of existing social conditions in the world around it. Part of the attraction to the movement was precisely its ability to generate hope and change by living in the midst of tension. In other words, you're going to see so many people coming back to church now because people are looking for hope. They're looking for change. And they know that we're not of the world, but we have to live in this world. We have to vote. We have to be Republican or Democrat. We have to take a stand on the side of justice. We have to take care of our children and work and pay our bills. Even though we're the church, we can't just lift our hands. And my children, they said to me one day after Bible study, I put on some music, and it was some like mint condition, and then I asked them to play their little future music, and they said, "Daddy, why are you playing this music?" The clean version of future, thank you. They said, "Daddy, why are you playing this music after service?" And I said, because I have to pull myself back down from the heavens. I've been praying and preaching in Bible study and walking around speaking in tongues and laying hands and walking and existing in the spiritual. But I can't stay there. I can't stay there. I have a wife to love and children to raise and bills to pay and things to think about. I must live within the tension of this world. And so I'm not